We're here at the Boss Conference Town Hall meeting, and I'm joined by Mr. Lester Gibson, who is a county commissioner in McClennan County, which Waco is inside your county. And I had asked him the question off the air, and he's going to answer it now, if he was aware and what his comments would be, finding out that roughly 33% of the people that died in the church in Waco were black.
No, I'm aware of that particular figure, and I knew Martin, who's an attorney in that particular company.
We know Sheila, by the way. We're good friends with Sheila.
So I'm aware that there were a sufficient number of African Americans who perished in the fire.
And what were your feelings when, I got to tell you, I was pretty upset just not hearing any outrage either publicly or from public officials about what transpired there, because you can say what you will about the adults, but there were women and children that died there that were all innocent. Maybe some of the adults were guilty of something, but the children, every one of them was innocent. What was your reaction to the fact that there were no public officials, white or black, that came out and said, hey, wait a minute, tanks on babies? I mean, I'd be interested in hearing your response to that.
Number one, I mean, it was televised nationally. Everybody in the world saw what was going on. Everybody could formulate their own opinion. And that's something that was exposed, and the opinion itself, you understand, basically could have been forthcoming. Such as the opinion now that we got with President Clinton. It wasn't a spin that the media wanted to put on it, and therefore you got the spin, you understand, that they wanted the American public to see and perceive. Just that simple. I'd
be interested in getting you a videotape. I don't know if you're aware, there's a documentary out called Waco Rules of Engagement.
I'm aware of it.
Have you seen that FLIR footage?
The area is in my precinct, okay? I'm County Commissioner Precinct 2. The Elk area is in my precinct, so I'm aware of the footage. The film and stuff like that. But again, it's what the media put the spin on. You understand?
And who owns the media?
That's correct. So I don't control it.
Right.
I can't give the spin, but it's a fact that what happened happened.
I think it's important to know, and I'm glad you're here and listening to this, because we try. It's what the theme of what we saw in the town hall here was to educate. And what people do once they have that education, I can no longer control. But I do have some control over the fact that many people haven't been educated to many of the facts that we just spoke of. And I think as they do, when they learn, there's Harvard law graduates in there, I think a lot of people think, well, these are a bunch of crazies. But you mentioned knowing Mr. Martin. I mean, Harvard law graduate, for goodness sake. This is not a crazy, kooky person. And when we learn, I think as the black community particularly learns that 33% of those people that died were in fact black, I think suddenly they realize that that's a situation where it wasn't just a bunch of crazy white people. I mean, there was people of all races and ethnicities in there, and I like to educate people to that fact and let them make their own decisions and choices.
I mean, but that's a fact that it was a great number of women, a great number of children of all ethnic groups. But in regards to your question about African American, you had a great number of African Americans who was in that. You had a great number who was released.
That's right. That's right. Well, listen, I appreciate your time, Mr. Lester Gibson, and your county commissioner in Precinct what?
Precinct 2.